All right, so take two on this video. The last one was a little long, and I think I can keep this one pretty short, but just include everything that needs to be there, as well as a reaction to the new trailer of Coral Island, which I'm super excited to go over with you. Basically, Coral Island or Stairway Games is partnering with Play Humble Games, which is Humble Bundle. If you don't know, it's where you can buy and purchase games, as well as they sell bundles of games where you can purchase that part of it goes to charity. And what Coral Island did is they partnered with Humble Games, and we'll tell you why. It's not for a reason that you might think. And going over their post on Stairway Games, they basically said while creating a game is very important, having a good game is very important, it's also super important to have a marketing and PR stuff that like gets to a wider audience. So it's very important to market games. It's a lot of stuff here, but basically what they just said is that marketing is very important, and Humble Bundle is going to be able to help them with that. Or I guess I should say Humble Games. That's their company name, I guess. That doesn't mean that Humble Games is going to have any say in what the game's going to do or look like. Humble Games is only there to market the game and gain the popularity of the game right before early access. This is exciting because I think we're going to be hearing more news about Coral Island, and because they're going to ramp up their marketing, and maybe the early access will come out sooner than we actually think. Maybe the embargo is actually going to come out soon. All right, so then they posted basically just saying they partnered again with Humble Bundle, and they actually made an announcement trailer. Basically, it's the new trailer for Coral Island. And they posted it on Twitter, but we're going to go look at it on the Coral Island Steam page. So if we go in here, because it's a little bit better quality, and now you can see the publisher is actually Humble Games. This is something new, so they're going to actually publish the game. So maybe they are going to have some sort of say in it. We'll see. But I think this is good because then the Coral Island's going to have more money invested in them to be able to make the game even better. So this trailer is pretty short, but it does have a lot of information. So I am going to be pausing a lot to talk about different things. So let's go ahead and just start off with, this is where you're going to be starting off the game. And I guess you'll see this sign, and you can see some of the updated graphics in the game, which is really exciting because you can also see a bunch of trees and a bunch of plants. I love how green the whole game's going to be. If you want to hear more about this, about the trailer, and really go into depth with it, we're most likely going to be talking about this on the Everything Coral Island podcast. I'm not sure when the podcast is going to come out to talk about this stuff. We might try to get it as soon as possible, but with the time constraints, I don't know if we will or when we will. So just stay tuned for that if you want to hear more detailed stuff about this. So next we have this, basically just a waterfall. You can see maybe some sort of farm over here, but it looks like that might be a waterfall, and you can just see water, some wildlife, a bunch of plants. So maybe this is some sort of shortcut to get maybe from your farm to somewhere else. So this is the Vineyard. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it still looks pretty cool. You can see the updated graphics on everything. You can just see green everywhere, and you got more trees. You got stairs going up somewhere, maybe some sort of house over there. All right, moving on. This is pretty exciting because this is what our house is going to look like. We've seen a few glimpses, but I think this is officially what our house is going to look like, at least starting off, and you'll be able to upgrade it to maybe get like a more patio area. You have this chest over here where you'll probably be able to put stuff in there, and they'll be able to sell overnight, as well as your mailbox where pick up your mail. So pretty self-explanatory there. And you can see the totem here, and we know this is from fast traveling from a previous developer update. So you'll be able to just get out of your farm, get in here, and go somewhere else on the island. It also shows off like the stretching mechanic for the player. So let's replay that again. Then we have a person just has a scythe in his hand, so we know that's probably going to be a tool, and you can cut off grass to clear up some area, as well as water some seeds to get plants. And this is kind of like how crops are going to grow. So I'll start off on this seeds and then grow into a sprout, and then maybe all the way. And we have a scarecrow here, which will prevent crows from picking at your plants and destroying them. This is really exciting because it shows a lot of decorations that you're going to be able to put on your farm. We don't have any news on if you're going to be able to decorate anything on like your actual house, like outside your house. But on your farm, there's going to be different decorations. We've seen some on previous developer updates. This one looks really cool. It looks more old school stuff. So you got some stone, you got some statues. This looks like a theater area where maybe you'll be able to sit down, like have the like those manual theater where you like the puppets. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but you also have the waterfall here, and then there's these totems. These might have to do something with the giants, so the giants can help out with your farm. But it's cool to just see different things that you'll be able to set up on your island to make it look different. All right, next we have just a section that we've actually kind of familiar with from the previous trailer, where the person walks down this path to pet the dog. But it does show some updated graphics for the plants and veggies and the animals, as well as the grass and the fences. So really cool. It kind of shows how big your farm is also. This is just like a small glimpse of what your farm can look like. So it's really cool to see that. Then we have a player just running around. This is just showing the customization options you're going to be able to have with different body figures, hair, eyes, clothing, all that stuff. Then let's go back to this, because this looks like the Cherry Blossom Festival, and you can see all the NPCs are gathered around in one place. That's not all of them, but this is most of them. It looks like they're gathered right around the lake, some sort of lake. I'm assuming this is a Cherry Blossom Festival because you can see the pink here, and the NPCs are gathered around Theo, and some are just hanging out, fishing by themselves. So let's go ahead and go on to the next one. We also have possibly, again, the Cherry Blossom Festival with Frank cooking up something. You're talking to Erica, shows a little bit of dialogue. All right, so then we see the Beach Cleanup Festival. So I'm not sure if this is what the previous slides were kind of showing, or this is its own thing. But we can see there is going to be a Beach Cleanup Festival, which is completely new and we haven't heard of this before. And it's also exciting because it does have a lot to do with what the game actually stands for, where you're trying to clean up the ocean life and the coral and everything like that. All right, and then we have the player talking to Surya while around the beach. This might be during the festival as well. And then you can see the crab right by the beach shack. We've seen actual pictures of the beach shack before, so this looks the same still. We have the boats here. Maybe you'll be able to ride the boats to get into further in the ocean to go fishing. Again, you can see the beach shack here, and then you can see some sort of NPC house. Maybe this is what your house is going to be able to look like. I don't know if that's your farm right there, or that might just be an NPC house. So then we have just a small glimpse of the player. When the player first dives into ocean, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to anchor him in. You can see all the trash around the player, as well as Kibblebot. Then we see the Coral Island Current, which they talked about before, but we didn't have too much information. This is not showing too much information, but it is showing trash just running through the Coral Island Current. Some assumptions Sarah and I made on the podcast is maybe as you clean up the ocean, the Coral Island Current's going to be more clean, and maybe you'll be able to use this as a transportation option to either get to the other parts of the island or the Merfolk Kingdom. Then we have a player cleaning up the island, or I guess the ocean, with some sort of device and Kibblebot, so you'll be able to suck up all the trash. And then there's something here, maybe this is to preserve the coral, so you'll put this around to preserve it. Then we have your NPC talking to Lily, and just she's asking a question for you, so maybe you'll be able to answer that. And this still looks like the Cherry Blossom Festival, or this could be the Beach Cleanup Festival, and you can just see the NPCs hanging around, eating tacos, eating pizza. This one's very short, but you can see there's a ton of NPCs here. And this one looks like the Beach Cleanup Festival. And all the NPCs are going to be helping you to clean up the beach, which is pretty cool to see. Again, this is what the game stands for, and it's cool that there's a festival around it. You can see different trash bins, so there's going to be stuff that are recycled. This one's just showing off the wildlife and the plants and the trees. You can see here there's fruits growing on the trees, so maybe you'll be able to shake those down to get some fruits from them. And that's it. Let me play this all the way through, but this is what the game art is going to look like. And there's a lot of information here. I'm sure that on the podcast we'll go through every single little detail on this thing. But one thing that I found interesting is that there's a pufferfish on this oil rig. So obviously I think this means that this is where the pufferfish is going to be, like their oil rig, and maybe you'll be able to go there and stop it, shut it down. It's cool that they showed that in the art, as well as all the NPCs. It's cool how they look. I love how vibrant this art is. It has a lot of blue and a lot of green. There's the pufferfish trash around the ocean. You can see this whale looking a little sad, actually. And you can see Kibblebot, your NPC, what you're going to look like. And just a ton of NPCs. And of course, you got the sus chickens and more NPCs, more animals. Maybe I think this is your farmhouse, actually. And that's basically it. So you can wishlist this now on humblegames.com/Coral Island, which I think just takes you to the Steam page, or eventually will take you to the Steam page where you can wishlist it. Let me know if you find anything on this cover art that I haven't looked at yet, or maybe I missed. Let me know also what you guys think of the Coral Island, the new trailer, them partnering with Humble Games as their publisher, as their marketing team. Hopefully nothing big will change, and I'm hoping the marketing just ramps up so the NDA gets lifted and we can make more videos about this game. That's basically it, and I'll see you in the next one.